Hi, I'm Senior Airman Jay Hernandez. Join me as I take you out to the middle of Pushtrar District, Afghanistan, where about 50 U.S. troops are using an abandoned high school as their district headquarters. The story you're about to see gives you a brief look into the life of the 82nd Airborne, 473rd Cavalry, Bravo Troop, 3rd Platoon's daily life deployed to Afghanistan. At first glance, it looks like a weekend cookout. Burgers frying over a hot fire, and soldiers gathered around the flames joking about the events of the day. But the bullet holes that fill the sides of the buildings and casings that litter the grounds reveal that this is the remains of a war zone.
The area was overran about a year ago, a little less than that, about 10 months ago now. The A&P that were stationed here were actually wiped out. There were 2 people up on the roof. They were smart enough to pull the ladder up, and that's how they escaped.
Army Afghanistan, go!
Now the Americans share the buildings with the Afghan National Army, and despite cultural barriers, they learn to get along.
As you live with them more, you pick up more parts of their culture. They pick up parts of ours, and it's a good blending. It creates a much stronger bond.
Things like showers are limited to creativity, and bathrooms, well, a tube stuck in a hole in the ground serves that purpose.
The conditions out here in Pushtrar are fairly austere. We don't have, obviously, no running water, latrines. We're using the old-fashioned burn latrines.
There is a small gym out here to work out at, or perhaps just help pass the time. Getting supplies out here isn't a simple process either.
The incoming unit will bring in supplies, as well as our Delta Troop, which is our forward support company. They'll come out here once a week, once every 10 days, and resupply us also.
Out here, the soldiers work closely with the Afghan National Army and in closer proximity to the local community.
Part of the operation that we're doing out here is to separate the populace from the Taliban, the anti-coalition forces. The only way you can effectively do that is by being out with them, having them see your face, see the Afghan National Police, the Afghan National Army.
The Americans provide security for the ANA soldiers while they take control of most of the missions.
And we've gone a long way since we got here. I mean, they lead the patrols, they lead the planning. It's actually going the way we're supposed to do, where now they are like, whenever you see our mission statements and stuff, they are the main element and we are the supporting element now.
Still, the American troops can help out in ways the Afghan army can't for now, like provide medical care for a sick child.
Doc does what he can, but he's just a field medic, so hopefully the kid feels better, but that's all we can really do.
The soldiers finished their mission of providing security for the Afghan National Army. But on our way back to Herat, we hit a roadside bomb. And the footage you're about to see comes directly after the vehicle I was in was struck by the bomb.
Hey, what happened?
Shit, a bomb! Must have been a pressure plate.
I don't know, man.
Something.
How did the other ones not hit it?
It had
I don't know.
Remote detonated.
Something. So drop the ramp.
I don't know how.
Yeah, what are you doing now?
Everybody out. Let's go. Welcome to the show, baby. You all right?
Yeah. You all right, big guy? I'm good.
You sure? If I some of your gear up that was on the outside.
Yeah, I broke my rifle.
You all right? I'm good. Just look it up.
All right, orientate security out there.
What happens, how do you think that IED was set off?
I think it was probably a pressure plate, more than likely.
Pressure plate? None of the other trucks set it off?
No, because all our other 3 trucks, including 6 ANSF vehicles, were right back. We got fire!
All right? Huh? Coming from the cloud over there.
Hey, we need the truck back over here.
The gunfire that you heard was the Afghan National Police. There was a motorcycle being walked away by a young man. In their efforts to stop him, they fired a couple rounds in the air and in the general vicinity of the guy for him to stop. He told us the story that there were 2 gentlemen fully covered up in black, wearing masks and things like that. The only thing he could see was their eyes. As soon as it went off, they took off to the north up towards the mountains.
Debris litters the ground back at the junkyard that remains of the blast site. And even after the explosion, the area is still not safe.
We did a crater analysis. It looks like there's a possible secondary device next to the crater in the center of the roadbed. We're waiting on EOD support to come out here along with our 1st platoon, which is currently back in Herat getting refitted.
This is the first IED to go off in this area, but not the first IED these men have encountered.
You asked about this. This is from an IED back in 2005 in Iraq. So yeah, I'm very familiar with what it's like being blown up, and it's never fun. I'm just glad everybody in the vehicle is okay. The Max Pro did its job. It protected our soldiers. That's what matters.
After waiting for an explosive ordnance disposal team to come out and clear the area, the soldiers head back to district headquarters and attend a worship service held by the chaplain. It's been a long day, but everyone is safe and alive back at the abandoned high school tonight.
We're in the Army, and this is what we're trained to do. You know, we're trained to be out here in conditions, and I've been in places that have been a heck of a lot worse than this is. This is actually not bad at all. You know, we've got a place to stay, we've got a secure building where we're in that gives us protection from small arms fire and things of that nature. We have our vehicles, we have food, we have water. I'll bet from bottles, but we have water. So we have all the necessary things we need. So everything else would be secondary and just, you know, icing on top of the cake. Showers and things like that are always great, but we're soldiers, we're scouts. We deal with it, and baby wipes and bottles of water are amazing.
I thought of my family, definitely right after it happened, and probably give them a call. I was just how unreal this is really, like in the truck, it just seems so unreal, but it is.
Honestly, it was just kind of a daze factor. It was the first IED I've ever hit. Been in a tick or two, but never hit an IED, so after we hit it, it just kind of was in a daze, and then it all kicked in what actually happened. I couldn't believe that it hit our truck. It's real easy to drive around out here all the time, and after a while, nothing happens to you. You start to take for granted that nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden something will snap you back into reality, and you're right back in the middle of it again.
Back outside, 2 soldiers finish the day's work of burning the waste from the bathrooms. And inside, the soldiers try and relax by playing a game of cards and thinking of home.
Katie, I love you. I'll be home in a couple of weeks. We'll have our little baby boy. I'll bring it right back.
The next morning, the soldiers strip down sensitive items from the truck. An armored tow truck arrives to take the damaged but still functional armored truck back to Herat, where the soldiers will make repairs so they can travel out again in the near future.
And that about does it for this story, but the soldier story is far from over. After making a short stop in Herat, they continued on to the next mission, and then from there they'll go back to the abandoned high school, of which for now they're calling home. Reporting from Herat District, Afghanistan, I'm Senior Airman Jay Hernandez.